Okay guys, what we're going to be working on today is a mirror for a 2016 Hyundai Sonata. I am showing you this, basically how to pull it apart and dismantle it so that make this job easier for you, because I looked all over the internet and there were plenty of videos out there about how to dismantle a mirror, but none of them applied to this mirror, because this one doesn't have a side marker indicator, and this one also doesn't have on the bottom. I saw a lot of videos had like an access cover down here that you could pop off and separate the upper and the lower housing. This one doesn't have that, obviously. So in this video, I'm going to show you the basic tools that you're going to need to pull this thing apart, and the basic way to get it apart, and without destroying too much. I did break a couple things, but the good news is the glass is broken, but the glass is good on the mirror that I'm replacing this cap for. I just bought this because I needed this cap and I needed this lower housing. So you will find a lot of videos on the internet that say you got to pull this apart. You got to go in here and take all this out. You don't have to worry about any of that. We're not going to worry about this lower part that goes onto the side of the car at all. We're going to focus everything up here to get this housing off, this cover off, the cap off without breaking it. Things that you're going to need to do this job: you're going to need some plastic little pry bars. You can get them on Amazon for $7. There's an assortment of styles. Another tool that is going to be super helpful is a heat gun. What I did was, before I did anything, I just heated this sucker up. I got all the way around it, all the way around, especially these corners. Just warmed it up, because it's mainly all plastic. And when plastic is warm, it's more pliable, and it will be more, it'll be easier to pull it apart. So once you've got it warmed up, and once you've got your tools on hand, you're gonna have to take this glass off. So like I said, this glass broke, but it cracked. But the way you get it off is you take and you push it up as far as it'll go, and inside here you'll want to get one of these little pry bars like this, and you're going to want to go in here and kind of just pry it up. There it is. You'll see this is the part you're going to want to pry on. You're going to want to pry on these little plastic tabs. If you go too far in to the mirror, you're going to grab onto the motor, and you don't want to do that. You're just separating this part from the motor, which goes right inside that part. So just put some pressure on it. And yes, I scratched my finger doing this job, but this is the first time I've tried doing one of these mirrors like this. And like I said, I couldn't find any videos that were super helpful. Just get in there, put some pressure on it, pop it forward. It should come loose. Take it off and set it to the side. When you get this off, we're not even going to worry about trying to take the motor out. We don't have to. There's going to be some screws in here. You'll see 1, 2, 3. There's one in here too. Can you see it? 3 and 4. Take those 4 Phillips head screws out, and that's going to loosen the front part of this bezel. If you look down in this corner, you'll see, it's hard to see it here, the front part and the back part come together right here. This is the front part, and this is the back part, and they come together right there. You'll see where that comes in just a minute. So let's get these 4 screws out. I've already pulled them out. I just barely set them back in here for the purpose of this video. Definitely get these screws off before you try doing anything else. Okay, so once you've got those out, that's going to make this much easier. And then they're all going to fall out. Like I said, don't worry about pulling this motor out. We don't need to worry about it. Just leave it in there. So you've got your 4 screws out. You've got it heated up. You're going to take your 2 little pry bars like this, and you're going to try to get in between this bezel and the plastic cap. And as you can see, there's a little ledge right there that tucks in behind this. So what you're basically trying to do is you're trying to get in there and forcing that over all the way around. You're going to start down here in the corner and work your way up. You may have to get in here to get some space, and then take your other pry bar and then kind of work it. And then you may have to kind of work it until you get all the way across the top. Once you get across the top, it's going to pop loose, okay? It's going to pop loose. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to try to pull back on the bezel. Once you've got that bezel loose, it should pull back. So the bezel goes back, and the rest of this goes forward. This you're going to want to push forward. And you will have to get in here. The hardest part is the corner with your pry bar. This is where I broke the clip, right here in that front corner. All this goes forward. You can see that's the hardest part right in there. That's where it broke. But it's basically just a lip all the way around the front and all the way around the top. And inside is just a few little clips, and all of them move straight forward. So you're just trying to push this forward and pull that bezel backward and get that off. And oh yeah, don't forget when you pull your glass off, you've got the 2 little heater cables. Make sure you separate those, get those off of there. That's pretty much it, guys. It takes some courage because you're pushing on this thing and you think it might break, and it can break. But like I said, if you heat it up and you take your time with it, you just work it a little bit at a time, it's going to come off and you'll be in business. Hope that helps you out.